Hello, hello, hello. Hey, I hope everybody is having a great day. I'm Rowdy ReidGirl and I'm coming at you with another Criminal Minds centric video. Now, if you are new to my channel, type new in the comments, and I love to get to know new people, so yeah, it's all very exciting for me. Now, today I will be counting down the top 5 things that fans are going to miss about Criminal Minds now that it's finished, and the top 5 things that the fans are not going to miss, if that's even possible. Now, I know a lot of you are probably thinking, oh yes, I know the 5 things she's going to miss. Read, 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 and read. Close! At number 5, the fans are really going to miss the characters. They have bonded with the characters, especially JJ, Penelope, and Reid, who have been with us since the beginning of the series. Now, this is 15 seasons, 15 years. So they've become like buddies, I guess. And so it's almost as if we're alongside them. We're watching their joys, their sorrows, their triumphs, and watching them mature, and watching their characters just develop and become more three-dimensional, and we get to experience everything alongside them. And it's almost as if the watchers have a personal stake in it as well, definitely after identifying with the main protagonists. Now, Luke Alves and Dr. Tyra Lewis have been with the series since seasons 11 and 12, so they're fairly new, but we've gotten to know a lot about their backstory, so we can find them relatable as well. Definitely. So that, yeah, that's the characters, that they're humane, they're human. They show their strengths, their vulnerabilities, they're relatable to ordinary people. So that's why we get so carried away, particularly when one of them's in trouble. It's like, no, 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 no. Which brings me to number 4, the villains. Now, every episode of Criminal Minds, you deal with a different unsub each time, but there are a lot of recurrent villains. For example, Cat Adams, played by Aubrey Plaza, the Reaper, and Mr. Scratch, who, both of them, they made Agent Aaron Hotchner's life sheer hell. And Cat Adams was a real thorn in Reid's side, the bane of his existence, since season 11's episode Entropy. She was the reason why he was in prison for 3 months in season 12, going through absolute hell. And of course, season 15, their climactic meeting. Now, if you haven't watched any of the episodes that I am referring to, I strongly recommend you experience the drama, the emotion of Criminal Minds. It's just amazingly portrayed. I mean, if the villains and the protagonists, if the actors playing them were deadpan, if their acting was rubbish, we wouldn't be feeling so much along with the characters. We wouldn't get so caught up and identify with them. So the acting is truly, truly phenomenal. I mean, cry with them, laugh with them. We get to know them like buddies, as I said before, yeah, because 15 years of watching them all develop and go through life's challenges and come out on top. Now, item number 3. I think I've pretty much touched on it, but I'm just going to touch on it again anyway. The high stakes, the intensity. When the BAU have only got a limited time, they think, oh my God, we need to get there in time, otherwise this victim's going to die, or if one of their own is in trouble, being abducted, facing death, that the stakes are high, high, high. It's life and death on the line. So we're watching it. Well, I'm watching it. Adrenaline's pumping, and oh God, it's like I'm experiencing it along with the characters. Again, a hat tip to the amazing emotional acting, that it's so authentic, so realistic. It's relatable. It's like you engage with your favourite characters and you grow to love them and form a bond and get scared for them when they're in trouble, when you think, oh my God, is he going to be shot? Oh no. Yeah, you get to feel alongside them what they're feeling. So yes, the high stakes, the intensity, the emotion, and the sense of triumph, exhilaration when there is a successful outcome and lives do get saved. That yes moment, that's absolutely priceless. And of course, if the outcome isn't so good, if there is a tragic outcome, yeah, we feel along with them. That is how relatable the characters are, the way they convey their emotions. So, bravo! You can see I love talking about this. Number 2, the special milestone episodes, which actually break from the usual format. For example, the 100th episode and the 300th episode, which really stood out because they dealt with special circumstances and they weren't the run-of-the-mill sort of format of the episodes. It was totally different. It was like, okay, to mark the 100th, to mark the 300th, we are going to do something special to blow everyone's hats off. Yeah, it's that sense of things. And number 1, the special relationship between Derek Morgan and baby girl Penelope Garcia. Their incredible friendship, their bond, how they would just be silly and stupidly flirt with each other, and just they were like brother and sister. They were best friends and they were just so supportive of each other, and I think that friendship was one of the most beautiful things that people saw until Derek actually left the series when him and his partner Savannah had their baby. But Derek and baby girl, you just couldn't get any better than that. It was just so light-hearted. It was really heartwarming to see. So that comes in at number 1. Yes, Derek and Penelope, they have loads of fans because just their interaction, the way they'd spark off each other and prop each other up, when they were feeling down. It was a really unique, special friendship, and it was one that transcended the 15 years, the 15 seasons that they had worked together. It was priceless. Now, you may be asking, what possible things could the fans not miss about Criminal Minds? Actually, I do have a list. Number 5, counting down from number 5 is I wasn't actually expecting to glean this. I've actually gleaned this from the internet, but I can understand where a lot of the fans and a lot of the polls are coming from. The behind the scenes drama. Now, you may have noticed that AJ Cook and Paget Brewster, JJ and Emily Prentice, though actresses were actually fired during season 6, and the cast, crew and the fans thought that was a bad call. On behalf of the producers, on behalf of the crew, that was a really bad call. So that didn't actually last very long. They did come back to the series, thank goodness, because there was an absolute hue and cry about it. I don't actually know why they were let go, but I know that there was a lot of displeasure over it, and I don't blame the fans. I don't blame the other cast members, because the characters of AJ and Emily, they are integral to the show, absolutely. And AJ Cook and Paget Brewster, their acting, their portrayal of those characters was just spot on. Now, Mandy Patinkin, you may remember him as Jason Gideon, Reid's mentor. He left abruptly at the start of season 3, and after doing some research, it turned out that Mandy was actually getting too affected by a lot of the psychological dark elements and a lot of the gore and the violence. He was actually finding the role really hard going, so he chose to bow out. But the funny thing is, since he left Criminal Minds, he's been actually in a lot in shows that are a bit more gory and more violent, so don't know what happened there. Now, of course, Thomas Gibson, Aaron Hotchner, Hotch. His unexpected abrupt departure at the end of season 11, that was because of a little scuffle with one of the producers, and so they wrote Hotch out of the series and made it that him and his son went into witness protection because of the immediate threat by the villain Mr. Scratch. But Thomas Gibson was actually sacked from the show through acting in self-defense with a reflexive action when he was feeling very physically threatened by one of the producers. So that was actually quite sad, and I don't actually feel that he was dealt with fairly. I really don't, because, yeah, it was self-defense. He was not the aggressor. Now, number 4. Inconsistent storylines. A lot of fans have been going, what? Now, in a future video, I will definitely be touching on it, finding out what storylines and what arcs, what make you go boom, shake the room, say what, and what make you go, wait, what? Double wait, what? Some of them are right on point, and some storylines seem inconsistent. They don't seem to make very much sense, and sometimes the continuity is a little bit off. Okay, for example, in season 2, Reid is abducted and tortured by Tobias Hankel, whose alternate personality is Raphael. And after he's rescued, he develops a drug addiction to Dilaudid, which is what Tobias Hankel, the unsub, was forcibly injecting him with. Now, he seemed to only deal with it for a few episodes, then all of a sudden it was just brushed under the carpet. It was just resolved. There was no, scenes of, how he got clean. It was just, okay, we're going to do this. Yeah, okay, like it never happened. And a lot of fans are finding that very disjointed. Okay, it's AB, now it's XY. How was it tied up again? Yeah. And of course, JJ was kidnapped and tortured and almost killed in season 9, and it was only a year later when she developed PTSD, which she struggled with for one episode only, and then that was kind of resolved, and there was no ongoing updates on her, whether she was getting therapy on it. It was just kind of just left up in the air, and so a lot of fans were like, what's going to happen? Okay, that was a bit it's a bit anticlimactic. Yeah, I can definitely understand. Now, the dark elements. A lot of people find the dark elements and the gore factor a bit hard to watch. Yeah, because, it is a very, very serious show. It is dealing with violent criminals, and it's not for the faint of heart. So a lot of people will find some of the gore and some of the not so much the violent scenes, but the psychological violence, the psychological darkness a bit hard to take. So a few of the fans are like, yeah, some of it could get a bit hard going. Yeah, it's not for the faint of heart, definitely not. Number 2, the spin-offs. You may all remember Criminal Minds Suspect Behaviour and Criminal Minds Beyond Borders, the spin-off series. I mean, I did like Suspect Behaviour because, well, I happen to think the actor Forrest Whitaker's pretty damn cool, but I think the fans were preferring Criminal Minds Classic. It's like, if you've got a good thing, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know, if there's nothing wrong with it, don't mess with it. So people thought there's no need for the spin-offs. It's kind of unnecessary. I mean, okay, Penelope Garcia was in Suspect Behaviour. There was a bit of a crossover. Yeah. But a lot of fans actually felt the spin-off series, they were kind of unnecessary for it. Number 1. It's the formulaic structure. A lot of fans, one of their biggest bugbears was it's very formulaic. You see a body being discovered, or you see a graphic, gory scene of violence, then you see the BAU going over it in their notes and everything, blah 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 blah. You know, after the entry music, and then how everything seems to follow a format, a formula. Personally, I like the formatting and the fact that it's formulaic because I am an order freak. I like order myself. So yeah, I think maybe fans wanted to see a little bit more spontaneity in the formatting of each episode. People found it a little too, okay, dum da dum, okay, you've got 1, step 2, 3, 4, but you know, it seemed to go in steps, as I said, formulaic, so people found it a little bit predictable. But the unsubs and the crimes were definitely not predictable. And the horrible things that happened to the characters, well, one character in particular that seemed to really get the brunt of hell served up to him, that was not predictable. But I suppose I can definitely see where the fans are coming from, even though I did like the formula to it. Well, if you have any other suggestions or any other points that I haven't covered, please mention it in the comments. I am looking forward to hearing from you. And if you like what you've been watching, and if you want to see more, hit like and subscribe, and don't forget to click on the notification bell so you will know when I will be putting out a video or a live stream next. So yeah, definitely I've actually noticed a lot of engagement, a lot of views of my videos, but definitely like and subscribe would be great. I love engagement from you guys because yeah, you help fuel my passion. Until next time, I will be coming up with some more Criminal Minds centric chat. You have a great evening, great rest of the day, and wheels up.